You don't talk about the Knicks. You never talk about the Knicks. You never talk about the Knicks. All right. So like I said, man, I'm not a guy that gets too high. I don't get too low. At this point, it's a 2-2 series. As the late great Kobe Bryant said, job's halfway done. What's to get excited about? We not finished. But we back in the series. Obviously, I'm a lot happier after the win than I would have we went down 3-1. Yeah, it would have been a hell of a thing. But look, we're gonna talk about the Knicks. We're gonna talk about the rest of the playoffs. Prayers up to my man Big Ragu. I was really hoping he would find a way to get back to the Knicks next year. Actually, prayers up for Ant-Man as well. Even though the Warriors went up the Timberwolves went up 3-1. That's a hell of a hell of a loss. I mean, the knee hyperextension. That's something that Giannis went through. Already the knee was giving Ant-Man an issue. He won't be 100% the rest of these playoffs, even if he plays. Ragu, Jesus, man, Achilles injury, bro. What's going on in the NBA needs to be studied because there's a lot of Achilles injuries. There's a lot of Achilles tears and ruptures in this day and age. I mean, we probably had like 3 or 4 famous ones back in the 90s. We get 3 or 4 of them a year now. So prayers up to my boy Big Ragu. I'm a big fan of Dante DiVincenzo, always has been. He's one of those players that, thank God he got his bag. Maybe after his contract runs out, he'll come back to the Knicks. Who knows? After recovery. So the Knicks won last night. Played a defensive masterpiece. All right, this is the thing about the Knicks. You held the team to 98, and mind you, most of that was the garbage. I'm saying most of that, but a lot of that was the garbage time minutes. Because that team was on the way to 80-something points. So, as I tell people about Mike Brown, this is something. See, one thing about me, I'm not emotional. I'm very analytical. Very analytical. I'm not emotional. Those of y'all that hate Mike Brown, you hate Mike Brown. I was on Carsino last night. I was asked about the Knicks. I said, bro, I can go and tell you every Knick hire from the Pat Riley years. Stu Jackson came after Rick Pitino. That's when I got on board, right? So Stu Jackson coaches the Knicks when Patrick Ewing beats Larry Bird in the first round. This is when I became a big Knicks fan, and I became a diehard Knicks fan when Pat Riley led the Knicks to that 7-game series against the Bulls when they were defending their first championship. That's how I go back. So anybody can question me about what I want about coaches being fired. All right, 24K, this is to you, crazy ass Piston fan. All right, and we gonna talk about your Pistons because I've been talking about them all year. My thoughts are on recording. All right, I've been saying that the Pistons need scorers. Jalen Duren isn't ready to be K's number 2, and that's clear. You can tell me about his 5 blocks and rebounds all you want. He's being outplayed by Wendell Carter. It's that simple. Yes, he blocks shots, okay, but we'll get there. Karl Anthony Towns put on a masterpiece last night. 20 10 and 10, triple-double. Seems like he should have had more assists. I still want him to get more. I still want him to go for 30. He's got to go for 30 in this series. And JB, this ain't your series, man. JB, this ain't your series. First of all, you're outplaying their Jalen, right? You're outplaying their star, and that's what you got to do. But this one right here, it's not your series. And you need to realize that. Okay? You need to realize that this ain't your series. And that's cool. And it's all right. All right? It's cat series. he has the mismatch. It took us half the goddamn series to realize this. Now, this is where I will get on Mike Brown, because that should have been the plan regardless. That should have been the absolute plan, to get Karl Anthony Towns the ball as often as possible. Now, I'm a Knicks fan that has said over and over, the Knicks should be relying upon Karl Anthony Towns. The Knicks should be force-feeding Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns should be having 4 points at least minimum every quarter. Again, I'm going to say this again. That doesn't mean he should be averaging 16 points. I'm saying minimum in every quarter. As many quarters as you possibly can, he should be having 4 points. That means plays should be regularly ran to him. He shouldn't be out on the court. And again, this is part of Karl Anthony Towns' issue as well. He has to be aggressive. You can't put it all on Jalen Brunson. You can't put it all on Mike Brown. Now, he was creating good offense. He was finding cutters. He was moving the ball. He was not being selfish. And props to him for that. But what Karl Anthony Towns did was, again, he basically showed that they don't have an answer for him. We have an answer for CJ. We obviously have an answer for Nah, and what they don't have an answer for him. And this is one of these things, man, when you realize that getting him involved and getting to your strength. If the Knicks have been playing to their strength, the series would be over. It would have been a 4-0 sweep. All right? But I guess we had to learn this lesson here in the first round. And we still got a job to do. They can make adjustments. This thing about the playoffs. This is the thing people need to realize. The Pistons fans involved. Again, Pistons, y'all know so much, but it's been 17, it's been a whole, how many years since y'all have been a factor in the playoffs? Many years. Last year was your first year, basically since the Blake Griffin era. A couple of years with Blake Griffin. Other than that, you guys have not been that big a deal in the playoffs. So the idea that Pistons fans are telling Knicks fans what it's like to win and all that, I mean, come on. Okay? Yeah, we haven't won championships. Y'all haven't won shit. Y'all didn't even won a home playoff game until the other day for almost 18 years. So let's realize where we at, good people. Let's realize where we're at. Again, y'all thinking about the Knicks with if you either got Toronto or Cleveland ahead of you. If you beat Orlando, I'm gonna get to y'all. We gonna talk Knicks first. We gonna finish off the tying the ball with the Knicks, because again, the Knicks are better than Atlanta. The Knicks are better than Orlando too, because we won the series. We won the season series. It was a war. They lost players. We lost players. Y'all forget who Franz Wagner got his ankle injury against the Knicks. Franz Wagner, after that Knicks game, basically has played maybe a handful of games. A couple of games after the All-Star break. Then he went right back on the shelf with the ankle injury. Knicks lost Landry Shamet to a dislocated shoulder. He healed from that. Knicks lost Jalen Brunson for a few games to a sprained ankle. I forgot somebody else got hurt. But basically the first 3 games, basically they lost players, we lost players. They lost Franz Wagner, their number 2 scorer. And we'll get to that. But yeah, man, I mean, Knicks, we got business to handle. And, if we get out the series, it's likely we'll play Boston. It's possible we'll play Philly. We're not worried about the Pistons yet. The Pistons worry about us. And that's cool, I get it. You want revenge on a team that beat you the last. I get it. You when you're on a revenge tour, you're on a revenge tour, but don't overlook. You got a tough opponent in front of you. All right. So look, again, same thing with us. You know, CJ can get back hot. Jalen, you know, Noel can steal a game. You know, we got to take care of the Garden. Knicks got right now. We worry about taking care of the Garden. We got to take care of the Garden. Period. We must take care of Madison Square Garden, and then go into Atlanta. You see. Hey, look. For those that didn't believe me when I said the Knicks were going to take over the Phillips Arena, we took it over yesterday. We damn sure did. A lot of New Yorkers and a lot of people that were already living there, who were Knicks fans, went down. It was a lot of blue. CJ McCollum was shooting a free throw and getting booed. A technical free throw, and he was getting booed. All right? Nobody believed me when I said it, and then what happened? Then, oh yeah, all the Atlanta fans left. So Cito told me. Yeah, y'all left in the middle of the third quarter. Chance to come back. I mean, come on. Look, I know the chickens are cheap. I'll tell you this. When I go to Madison Square Garden, especially if I was fortunate enough to go to a playoff game, at $400 a ticket for the cheap seats, ain't no damn way I'm leaving early. I'm getting there early, and I'm leaving after the final buzzer. I don't care if we down by 50. I'm getting every minute of that $500, $400 a ticket experience, okay? But Atlanta boys, they I guess when it's $25 a ticket on cheap discounts. See, this is the thing, man. I keep telling y'all, Knicks fans, we travel, we deep. Y'all hate that, but it's cool. I don't hear shit about the refs. I don't hear shit. It was a physical game. A lot of clutching and grabbing. Wasn't really called. A lot of, Jalen Brunson tweaked the ankle. Couple of guys got ankle injuries. OG damn near, they pulled him down when he going up for a dunk. He got fouled on a dunk. Glad they didn't call it, because I think we got a 3 out of that play. I think Deuce wound up hitting a 3. Landry Shaman found his stroke in garbage time. Good to know that he can make a 3. Josh Hart was a man possessed in that first half. Josh Hart, I want to see play a whole game. I know he was amped. He was mad. That's what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. I want to see it in game 5. I want to see the rest of the series. Hell, I want to see the rest of the playoff. Josh Hart, be a man possessed. Because, let's be real, that little 2-man game, you and your boyfriend, Jalen Brunson, you and your roommate, Jalen Brunson is running. I'm sick of it. Get the fucking rock to Cat. Period. That's it. We win this series. There's nobody on it. And I don't want to hear about no Jock Landale, because he be getting his ass bust too. So, yeah, Pistons, we're going to get to you and your fucking excuses from last year. And your excuses from last year, y'all were a healthy team. Well, yeah, you know what? We were a healthy team. Played by the coached by the coach who runs his players into the ground. Imagine that. Well, here's the thing. The one thing I will admire about Tibbs is he coaches his team to actually be conditioned for the task at hand. And that's what I admired about Tibbs. There's no injury excuse with Tibbs, because he coaches his players to withstand the rigors of an NBA season. So you don't have to hear no injury excuses. You don't have to hear none of that shit. That's one thing I admired about Tibbs. So for the team that clutches and grabs and knocks people to the floor and bumps everybody, well, you're gonna sustain a few injuries, right? Let's get to y'all Pistons. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Pistons, worry about the Magic right now. Stop worrying about us. And if you get past the Magic, you're more than likely gonna have to worry about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Shout out to the Raptors. They've had a good season. For them to get to the playoff from where they were, like, hey, Brandon Ingram and Scotty and RJ, if Quickly's healthy, the series ain't over. But you got to worry about them. And you got to worry about the fact that you don't have scorers. Because I told y'all all season, I asked y'all all season, who's your number 2 scorer? Jalen Duren. 3 games into the series, Jalen Duren's averaging 9.5 points. That's enough? That's enough? Is that enough? Yeah, I said it all year. Your second leading scorer is Tobias Harris. He's your second most reliable scorer. We understand that Jalen Duren has talent. But Jalen Duren, especially in these playoffs, especially with a good defender in Wendell Carter minding him, is not the guy you can rely on for buckets, especially down the stretch. And that's what I mean. Like, he can get his 18, 19 over the course of the game. But can you go to this man for a play? Can you go to this man for a play? It's like me asking Mitchell Robinson, who's a very efficient player, right? When it comes, but you got to go through a lot to get Mitchell Robinson to rock. And I get it. I'm not comparing Jalen Duren to Mitchell Robinson. Obviously, Jalen Duren is a better player, right? And he's not better overall center. He's a better player, right? He's a guy that you can get him involved in the offense a lot easier, He's a guy that's been more healthy over the course of his career. But the double team and the triple team, it was okay. Did it get somebody else off? Because what Mitchell Robinson does offensively is get a lot of offensive boards and gets the Knicks second chance points. Jalen Duren is a very good rebounder and a very good shot blocker. I understand it, but again, I'm asking this guy to be a reliable scorer. I'm asking him to be a reliable scorer. That's what I'm asking. And he hasn't been. He hasn't been. And I'm a part to this. I'm a part to this because I gotta get going right now. But I'm a part to this. Y'all gonna hear from me.